Hello there. Welcome to whatever we're calling this show. Welcome back to episode 5, I believe. We have our boys, Arctriton 4466 and Theogek here with me, Sombraptor. How are you guys today?
I'm good.
Cool. So, I believe continuing from yesterday's, last episode's, conversation, the origin of humanity in Star Wars was a topic you guys seemed to be interested in, am I correct?
For me personally, yes. I'm always geeking out about where the humans come from within the Star Wars lore and then for our own galaxy as well.
Right. So, for those who don't know, the ancient history of the Star Wars galaxy is something that's very much shrouded in mystery. There's all this stuff with the Rakata, the Celestials, the Gree, Qua, other ancient, the unnamed species from Iokath. So many, there's a ton of very vague lore. And that includes, where exactly did humans come from? Well, so officially, I say in legend, let's just the humans are rumored but not confirmed. The oldest traces of humanity in the galaxy are found on Coruscant, which had previously been known as Notron, and it's believed that an ancient confederation of an unknown species called the Gel were the forefathers to modern, quote-unquote, modern humanity in Star Wars. But however, it's also very clear that the Gel came from somewhere before that because there was already an indigenous species there, the Tong. They just appeared there somewhere. Where do they come from? Big mystery in terms of official media. Now, if you go into some more esoteric places, let's start with, there was a canceled novel series that basically wanted to tie together all the different works of George Lucas. So, for example, I forget which was his first feature film. I was either American Graffiti or THX 11. Anyway,
THX.
Yes. So, THX 1138 was a dystopian future, sci-fi thing, similar in some regards to 1984, other forms of, just dystopia, where humans were only people were only designated by alphanumeric designations instead of names and whatever. It's very been ages since I watched it. But so basically, in this canceled the Human Exodus, as it was called, it entailed a group of dissidents from that future version of Earth stealing a spaceship and ending up with going into a wormhole that took them not only far away in terms of space, but also in terms of time, a long time ago, to a galaxy far, far away. Okay. But
Wait, you're saying that THX is basically the premise for No.
This was never this never ended up being officially published. We only know about this because the the author, something Sawyer, I believe, posted on his website about human exodus and alien exodus. Basically, Robert J. Sawyer was there was a whole plan. I'm unsure how much I think they got the go-ahead from this film at the beginning, but then kind of there were, I don't know, financial issues with the creation of the publication, and as such, but anyway, to continue on the, so yes, this is not technically official media as it was canceled / unpublished / whatever. But if we are going to treat it as such, and I do in my own personal headcanon, so yes, these humans from this dystopian future Earth end up in the ancient past of the Star Wars galaxy, encounter some of the other races like Rhodians, Sulistans, and so on, and unfortunately get caught in the eye of a slaver species known as the Varlians. And as the plot progresses, basically some hijinks ensue, I suppose is one way to put it. The Varlians get devolved into what we call huts. Dun dun dun.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and actually, as a remnant of this whole plot, it's been confirmed that it's been known for a long while that the Hutts took over Nal Hutta. It was not their original homeworld. So as a reference to this, official media has stated that the original Hutt homeworld is called Varl.
No.
I knew you were going to find this interesting. But, yes, no, so, again, technically unofficial, but there was this plan to tie together all of George Lucas's works. So, I believe the protagonist of Alien Exodus was supposed to be a descendant of one of the characters from American Graffiti as well, and there was some planet that was where Willow was supposed to take place in. So just basically creating the Lucas expanded cinematic universe. I don't know. But so yes, technically unofficial, but just a fascinating concept to me at the very least.
Well then, okay, so that raises the question, like, how many people made it off of? Because, like, what? So, like, 5 people made it onto a ship and then, like, got sucked into a one.
Like, I think. So it's been ages since I read the original story treatment, but it
Then the question would be, how did the gel come about? So
right.
You go.
Well, to get to that part, there is another. It's not unofficial because it was officially licensed by Lucasfilm, and I'm not sure where to begin with this. There is, I believe I mentioned this in episode 1 of this show. Supernatural Encounters: The Trial and Transformation of Arhul Hextrophon is I'm not sure how to explain this. It basically was going to be a short article for the Star Wars Gamer magazine in the early 2000s. I think probably like 2002-ish, before the magazine shut down, but has since expanded into something a whole lot more grandiose. It's basically a deep dive into all the most esoteric, most unexplained, all of these, all the godlike beings, all the crazy force wackiness from a lot of these very obscure Star Wars stories. For example, Tilotny Throws a Shape, which was an old comic written by Alan Moore, no less. I had no idea he had involvement with Star Wars stuff beforehand. And there's how this ties in to Alien Exodus is it took some of the primary elements of Alien Exodus and integrated it into the story, and it showcased that there was some involvement from the Celestials in that wormhole that brought over the humans over to the galaxy far, far away. And it gets I should also mention, I keep going back and forth on this, that it was originally published back in 2018, but has since been cut back down to a preview because the final complete version is due to be published very soon, actually. I have been talking to the author, Joe Bongiorno. He, keep an eye out on my channel. I'll have an interview with him very soon. Nudge, nudge.
Super exciting.
Yeah, no, I want to avoid giving too many spoilers here, but basically, yes, one of the many, spreading out from the original transfer of Terran humans, some went to the Tion cluster, hence, Zim the Despot, whatever, and one other main group took colony ship, ended up on Notron, following one President Gel, from which they took their name and got into their war with the Tong and all that fun stuff. But,
now,
sorry.
This is where that's gonna, like, we've got to get into these event by event. So, like, this can be okay for today's episode because we're just kind of like scraping the top end of it. But dude, we're dragging like that. There's so much meat to cut up and so much to unpack with all of that, like from beginning to end. And like not only that, but like
the gears turning in your head.
Well, and then so here's something else. Like it's totally like. You got to explain the numbers, so there's got to be a story, like a grander, that like the audience has got to hear it because I can't even figure it out. I'm sorry, I bit my tongue, so my tongue's really swollen. But anyway, no. So like the fact that there's the Duerda Verda, da Duerda
Verda, Rage of the Shadow Warriors.
Yes. So in that epic, they're sitting there and they're talking about like these indigenous individuals, the Tong, like they were outnumbered by these Zhao, and these Zhao were so mighty that they were able to create a massive city and all this kind of stuff. And then not only that, but like they get wiped out. Like they're gonna like wipe out the Tong, and all of a sudden a volcanic eruption goes off and wipes out their whole city, and then wipes them out, and then Tong slaughtered them. So right, and that's where. So they have to be able to survive all of that, and yet still grow back to wipe Tong off, like to the point where the Tong are.
All I'm going to say is read Supernatural Encounters. It's a very dense read, but oh my lord, I cannot praise it enough.
Can we got to have a link at the end of this for the audience to follow.
I'll just put it in the description.
I think we're going to, because I'm going to actually go there myself. This needs to be explained and visualized. That's a little bit bigger than we're expecting. Okay, all right. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought with questions. Hal, do you have any more questions?
Well, I've heard, this isn't the first time I've heard it, that Willow was somehow tied to the Star Wars universe in that he was exploring all of these characters through these different movies.
Yeah,
So is
no,
that what you're
it's
saying?
yeah, no. The from a certain point of view, the magic in that film could very well just be an aspect of the Force. Same way the Dathomiri have what they call magic is really just an extension of the Force. Is so yeah, technically, all of them could coexist from a certain point of view. To quote on everyone.
Wow, it's wild.
Yeah, no,
It's just crazy.
I know. Yeah, no. The first time I heard about tying all that stuff together, I was like, "What? That makes no sense." All of the, American Graffiti's like, just period draw. Well, not a, sorry, not a period. Just very much just look at American culture of the time, and then and then all, and Willow's this fantasy. It's like all these very distinct. Like, are you really gonna tie them together? I mean, when you look at it in the way it's like the real world, there's all sorts of wondrous things, horrific things, and it's still all one world. So why can't a fictional setting be the same?
No, I actually think that's what brings any kind of, because we can't see past in our own solar system really. So I mean, whatever else is out there is, we have to imagine it. And I'm sure like somebody's got a little bit more information than the three of us sitting here in this room, but all we can think is just what is to what's out there. And I'm okay with it as long as it fits in the definition of reality, because then anything's possible. And I think that the universe is so vast that I think really anything is possible. Like, anything that we could sit here and imagine is probably real. It's just, I don't know. Like, there's probably some people out there.
If you subscribe to multiverse theory, there definitely.
Oh, don't you get there, and let's not even. No, I don't even want to get. There's another me running around. And if there is, God bless.
No, I mean, even disregarding that, even operating under these, because not to get super deep into it, there's two different kinds of, multiple, because there's split timeline multiverses, which a lot of people think of as just multiverse theory, but there's more to it than that. There's what we call brain multiverse, not brain as in what's in your head, BRANE, membrane multiverse, which is just different vibrational frequencies. Because when you look into string theory, technically, like, the fabric of reality, like there's just a bunch of vibrations and theoretically there can be other universes occupying the exact same space, but in different, but just be completely different in how they operate. But I'm no physicist, so but that's something I find fascinating as well. So is Star Wars real, just in a different, not just galaxy far, far, just a different. But we're running low on time. But is there?
No, don't do that. That can't leave a cliffhanger like that. Like, I couldn't even unpack what you said. We got to go back and make you do it all over again, like at a meeting. Like, I need to hear that one more time.
Sorry to sink your hopes like that, but
I'm keeping track. We're gonna get to this event.
I love the enthusiasm you have. Yeah, no. Audience, like if you've got any questions, just feel free to drop a comment as well. But until next time, we'll see you around. And may the Force be with you always.